This week I wanted to try the difference between busking with amplification or just acoustic. I am very used to busking with amplification, so it was a challenge for me to busk only acoustic. And in this video I am going to test how much money I can make when I feel the most comfortable and how the performance is affected. To test this, I busk for 3 days with amplification and 3 days just acoustic. And each day I try to busk for 2 hours. On the first day I started with the acoustic setup. I usually have a busking outfit, so I like to wear that when I'm going for a busking set. But it's not always the same. Sometimes it's just cool to feel that you're going for a show, and actually it is not too different from wearing a nice shirt when you're going to work in an office. That's just a different outfit for another kind of job. It is very quick to get ready as only a few things are necessary, and when I left home I thought I forgot something because I felt very light. And it is really a good feeling not having too many things to bring with you. And for these 3 days I only had the guitar and some water to drink. Busking with no amplification is very challenging because you need a strong voice to sing on the street if it is crowded. But you know, this is not really the period where there is a lot of people on the street, so I wasn't too worried about it. Setting up for an acoustic set, it's pretty simple. I just had to put in place my guitar case and my sign, and that's all. And it takes less than 30 seconds, literally. I just didn't know how to put my sign up, so I just did this. After busking for 30 minutes, I realized that I was busking between two other buskers. There is a busker with an amplification on the left and there is another one with amplification on the right. Today is really hard. Like for the first day busking acoustic is really hard to just use the guitar and your voice. So I'm pretty tired. I'm already tired. But let's keep going. So I started to sing louder, but I immediately realized that I couldn't sing that loud for 1 hour. And after the first 30 minutes, I kept drinking water every 1 or 2 songs, being my voice very tired because I wanted to stay at the same level of the other buskers with amplification. After 1 more hour of busking, my voice was completely tired, and so I decided to stop. After that, I just went back home, and going upstairs to my apartment, it felt like normal. These 3 days were more or less the same, with no difficulties at all to go down to the street from my apartment, to find a spot to busk, and to set up my equipment. But my voice was very tired every time that I tried to sing louder to reach more people or to stay at the same level of other buskers with amplification not too far from me. And so after a long experience busking with amplification, I can say that busking acoustic is less stressful to move around, but it is very tiring for your voice if you don't have a strong voice. For the next 3 days I went busking with an amplification setup, and this was totally another story. First I had to be sure to charge the batteries on the previous day. After that it took me at least 5 minutes to pack all the equipment on my trolley. Well, it takes 5 minutes only when my stuff is not ready from the day before. Otherwise, it just takes a minute to grab the guitar, the water, the batteries and the sign. Once the trolley is ready, I have to go down to the street, which is not an easy task because the trolley is really heavy. With the amp and the rest of the equipment, you have to be very careful on the steps. If you're planning to busk every day with amplification, you have to keep in mind all this, and you have to be very passionate about what you're doing. But I am. Having a trolley is great to bring your equipment, and it doesn't take too much time to find a spot for busking. But I really felt that I was going slower than the other days. And it takes 5 minutes to set up all of your equipment, and I'm always scared that it can start raining after a few moments, because this happened to me many times, and it would take other 5 minutes to pack up all the equipment again if I have to leave. Talking to the songbird yesterday. Here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here, but you're not, 'cause the dreams we were loved and waiting on a miracle. Trying to find ourselves in the winter. After the first hour, I decided not to move to another spot because I didn't want to risk not to find another place available. If I don't find a spot available, most of the time I have to bring my stuff with me and wait until a spot is free. And it's annoying when I have to wait because I can't go that far with all the stuff. This time I didn't have to sing loud because I had the amp, but I immediately realized that the approach to sing with amplification is completely different. But I will tell you more about this in a minute. When I finished busking, I packed my stuff in 5 minutes and I just went back home. Going upstairs to my apartment was not comfortable at all, as the trolley with all the equipment is heavy and it is not made to be carried up on a stair. After busking for 2 hours straight, I just wanted to lay on the couch and rest. You have to be very committed to busk with amplification if you want to keep doing this every single day. To recap, in the first 3 days of busking acoustic, I felt very light and comfortable, and it didn't bother me at all to change spot for the next hour. Or if I wanted to go somewhere to get some food or to the toilet, it wouldn't have been a problem. However, I felt that I got tired faster singing without an amp. And this is because I had to sing louder for the reasons that I said before. On the next 3 days busking with amplification, I felt like it was taking a lot more time to go for a set. What bothered me the most was the fact that if I needed to go somewhere, I had to bring with me all my stuff. Like if I needed to go to the toilet or to get some food, it would have been just stressful and uncomfortable. The very first day of busking with amplification, I realized that my approach to sing had to be totally different from busking just acoustic. What I mean is that when I was busking acoustic, I tended to sing as much loud as possible to reach more people, and this was very stressful for my voice. But at the same time, at the end of the third day, I was surprised that I found a good technique to sing loud for 2 hours. The problem with singing loud is that you can't work on the dynamics of a song. A very simple example to understand this is that usually a chorus of a song is louder than the verse, while the verse has more dynamics. And guys, I tend to sing all the song louder when I busk acoustic. And so on the first day of busking with the amp, I had to change the way I was singing because I knew that the amp could support the dynamics of a song, with some parts louder than others with just a soft voice. And also a passerby could hear me from a farther distance, and my voice wasn't too tired after singing for 2 hours. Oh, and this is how much it made busking during these days. And there you have it, the difference between busking with amplification or just acoustic. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys with the next video.